good? I think we good. We might be good. Yeah, we should be good. Okay, okay, okay. Y'all already know what time it is. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get It Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in on episode 224. I'm cross-platforming tonight on my YouTube and on my Instagram. So shout out to everybody that's tuned in, all my foundational support on that YouTube. Thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. It's quite a few of y'all in the chat. Shout out to the chat on Instagram. My bro Leo in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, my dude. You already know the business. And this is episode 224. If the first time tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild. We talk about everything here, whether it's music, sports, social commentary, things that go viral. We have a good conversation. We have some fun. We crack some jokes. We get a little serious from time to time, but overall, we have a great time tuning and tapping into each and every subject. Y'all already know the business. This is episode 224, and let's get the show started. Shout out to my sponsors, the presenter sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get, I'm sorry, where you get the perfect blend of movies, documentaries, original content, all for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, in the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, in the word snaps.com. So make sure y'all tune in and tap into Button Snaps. Also, shout out to got some new music on the way. Told y'all got some new music on the way. That OUV app is still being built, but it's fire so far. It's a better way to give y'all great music, a better way to give y'all visuals within the streaming, and have a whole bunch of access to a whole bunch of other things that is just a better listen for our viewers and people that support the music. We don't want to go through the Spotify. We don't want to go through the Apple route anymore. They jerking us on how they give y'all the music, first of all, and secondly, they don't treat us right as artists. So we're going to develop our own app, our own music store for y'all to have a better visual and listening experience. So shout out to that as well. That OUV Records app is being built. Also, new comics, also still in development, but it's fire. Again, based on world domination. I can't wait for y'all to see that. That's one of my babies right there. I can't wait for y'all to tune and tap into those comics and animation. What else we got? Don't forget, y'all, please do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out for being and saying things negative. Stand out, have the ability to stand out for being positive. No Willie Lynch mentality over here. Please, no, we don't do that. The only op we recognize is opportunity. This is life culture over here. Hate has a location. It's just not here. All right. All right. Let's get the show started. First segment of the night. Popular opinions. And again, I'm cross-platforming both YouTube and Instagram. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, as y'all see right here. Box and hats right there. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records. Stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. First popular opinion question of the night, y'all. Which one of these iconic 2000s fashion trends hit the hardest? Again, which one of these iconic 2000s fashion trends hit the hardest? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Number one, velour throwbacks. Velour tracksuits. Number two, ultra low rise jeans. Number three, nameplate belts. Number four, dresses over jeans. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, which one of these 2000s iconic, let me go back to the question. Which one of these 2000 iconic fashion trends hit the hardest? Again, number one, velour tracksuits. Number 2, ultra low rise jeans. Number 3, nameplate belts. Number 4, dresses over jeans. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And a quick shout out to the chat. I forgot to mention the chat. I'm not gonna say everybody in the chat, but I'm gonna mention a few of y'all in the chat. Shout out to Hazel in the building. Shout out to Chat and Ashley. Shout out to Hazel. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping. And make sure y'all go tune in to that new album with Hazel. Make sure y'all go tap into Hazel Hennett Cover Girl album up on all platforms. Shout out to Winter in the building. Shout out to King P in the building. Yo, happy holidays, my peoples. Shout out to Ebony in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in, man. Who else was in the building? I feel like I'm missing a couple people I can't see. Shout out to Treeman in the building. King Culture in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Some dope love. All right, y'all, going back to the question. So in the chat, I'm seeing 4. The question was, which one of these iconic 2000s fashion trends hit the hardest? And y'all said 4. Y'all said dresses over jeans. Really? Okay. For me, out of all this, I'm a dude. Velour tracksuits used to hit hard. I'm not even gonna hold you. Them velour tracksuits felt like cheat codes at one particular time. Back in the early 2000s. That was a good time right there. You felt fresh to death, and you know what I'm saying? You felt undefeated. You felt like you could conquer the world with a velour tracksuit back in the early 2000s. So I'm going to say velour tracksuit. In the chat, I seen dresses over jeans, which I'm surprised about that. Me personally, as a man, I love watching the women with the real ultra low rise jeans. You know what I'm saying? That was a good time back then. But I went with velour tracksuits. In the chat, I'm seeing dresses over jeans. The rest of the world at 45%, mind y'all, over 100,000 people voted on this, went with nameplate belts. Now, I'm surprised more people didn't say nameplate belts, because back in the early 2000s, nameplate belts used to go crazy. Like, your fit wasn't complete unless you had a nameplate belt, or you had like an initial, or a AKA, a nickname on your nameplate belt. Like, nameplate belts used to be popping. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. The belt buckle, that joint used to go hard. I'm not gonna hold you. That was the wave for a good 2 years. That was like a hard wave back in the early 2000s. But I'm surprised more people didn't say that in the chat. So everybody else went with dresses over jeans. So it had to be mainly the women in the chat saying that dresses over jeans. So, all right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. Hosting game night. Remember, you're hosting game night. Which card game will cause the most arguments? Again, hosting game night. Which card game is going to cause the most arguments? Number 1, poker. Number 2, Uno. Number 3, Phase 10. Number 4, Solitaire. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And again, I'm cross-platforming. So shout out to my Instagram, and of course, shout out to my YouTube, always holding it down each and every episode. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to the Loyal Crew. I love that. The Loyal Crew. I like that. Shout out to the chat. So in the chat, I'm seeing poker. I'm seeing poker in the chat so far. Again, the question is hosting game night. Which one of these card games is going to cause the most arguments? Number 1 was poker. Number 2 was Uno. Number 3 is Phase 10. Number 4 is Solitaire. I mean, most people that play poker, like, they really playing for that money on. They playing for that money on. So me personally, I'm going to have to say Phase 10. Like, Phase 10 is not only my favorite game, but it's always a lot of beef when you play Phase 10, me personally. And it's always an argument, because once you make your phase, like, you don't want nobody else to make theirs, and you really go out your way to make things harder because you're trying to win the game first. So, I mean, I'm going to say Phase 10. In the chat, went with poker. I'm seeing poker in the chat. The rest of the world at 58%. Mind y'all, over 310,000 people voted. Yo, this had to cause so much beef at game night. but over 310,000 people voted on this, went with Uno. Why am I not surprised with the Uno? Why am I not surprised? Because the reason why I could see 58% of the people voted for Uno is because most people that play Uno play by their own rules. They don't play by the rules that's actually given in the game of Uno. So that's why it's funny to me that that this caused the most arguments. Everybody has their own way. Before you play Uno, you got to say what's wild, what's not wild, instead of playing the actual classic way. Now, on this show, episodes ago, I unveiled the actual way of playing Uno, especially when it comes to the draw fours, the draw twos, how the skips are supposed to work, how the reverse is supposed to work. And that's if you playing one-on-one or with multiple players. And y'all still was like, nah, we won't play it the way we want to play it. So Uno is the only game that I know that there's actual rules, and people like, nah, I'm gonna play Uno the way I want to play Uno. So it's funny to me that y'all saying it's Uno. So again, the question was hosting a game night. Which card game caused the most arguments? Again, the choices was poker, Uno, Phase 10, solitary. I said Phase 10. The rest of y'all definitely said Uno in the chat. So shout out to y'all for that who said Uno. The rest of y'all that said Uno. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Hollywood Need to Ask Us segment. Came up with this segment because Hollywood don't give us enough movies that we really care about, intrigued about, and I think I got better ideas for a movie or a movie series. So my Hollywood Need to Ask Us, I would love to see a movie, and I will call this movie the Thin Blue Line. This movie will basically be about a detective that gone rogue, and the other people in the precinct have to take him out to secure all the secrets of their wrongdoings. And that's kind of like a classic theme, classic movie type of style when a loose cannon detective, he executes his own his own situation where he's basically have his own $1 billion stash or $1 million stash, and it's a ring of cops that's really working this particular thing. But he did his thing on his own. He got his own little side stash somewhere, and another forensics cops discovers all this was going on, and they try to bury the evidence by unaliving this particular detective. So this movie will have to be rated R for one. This obviously is a drama and thriller. The actors I would have for this movie, I would have Sydney Sweeney. I would have them playing the forensic analyst. I would have Ben Foster. Ben Foster would play the detective. I would have Vincent. I always mess this guy name up. D. Farino. I'm probably saying it a little wrong, but I would have him playing the commissioner. I would have Michael Fassbender. He would play like the quiet squad leader. I would have Barry Kaham. He would play the informant. Yeah, Cole. He would play the informant, and my director would be Steven Saldenberg. So that would be my director for this actual movie. So I think this will be an absolute smash hit. Everybody will go see it, and it will be a fire movie to tap into. Shout out to CC in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. What's good, fam? Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Again, I'm cross-platform and both on Instagram and my original YouTube. So again, thank you for tuning and tapping in. Don't forget, y'all, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. I know I don't mention it a lot, but it does help with the growth of the show. So that's my Hollywood Need to Ask Us movie and what it'll be based on. And like I said, I think people will go see this in droves. Great acting, great story, and it's going to be popping. So that's my Hollywood Need to Ask Us. All right, moving on to our next one, our must see. I know I'm going to give y'all 3 must see movies, like how I do each and every episode. Number one must-see movie came out 1995, directed by Bill Parker. This movie stars Giancarlo Esposito, um, Jasmine Guy, Stratford Ashanti, and Carl Bradshaw. This is a fire movie. Make sure y'all tune and tap into it. It's called Clash. Fire must see movie about basically a reporter that goes to Jamaica and he's having a good time, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it for y'all. So again, make sure y'all tune in to tap in to see the movie Clash. Second must see movie came out in 2000, directed by Roger Spotterwood. This movie stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom, Tony, Tony Gwendolyn, Taylor Ann, Terry Crews, and Michael Roker. This movie is called The Sixth Day. Fire must see movie about a family man that's feeling good. He's getting older, goes to work, and comes home, and nothing is the same how it was. You have to see the rest of the movie. Trust me, I'm not telling you anything. No spoilers here. Just make sure y'all tune and tap in to see The Sixth Day. Third and final must-see movie came out in 2025. This movie is directed by Dan Thattenberg. This movie stars Demetrius Schuster, Colin Tangi, Mike Holmick, Ela Fannin, and Alisco Wright. This movie is called Predator Badlands. Fire must see movie. This is fire. This is a fire movie. Obviously a movie about the predators and their homeland, and they end up getting into an argument by watching the rest of the movie. Like I said, I won't spoil it for y'all. Make sure y'all go see Predator Badlands. So again, my 3 must-see movies, and y'all can catch all of these on Tubi except for Predator Badlands, Clash, The Sixth Day, and again Predator Badlands. So make sure y'all go tap into those must-see movies. And again, y'all don't forget that them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And if they're first time watching in, again, I am Ashley Lovechild, and it's the Kenner Brothers Get a Rap podcast. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our must-hear segment. Y'all know I'm going to give y'all some fire must-hear music, whether it's new or old, whether it's hip-hop or R&B. I'm just going to give y'all that fire. So make sure y'all tap into this music. So tonight, profile artists, make sure y'all tap into me, Ashley Lovechild. Make sure y'all tap into the music. Make sure y'all tap into these fire songs. Put these 3 on your playlist. Number 1, MJ Fadeaway. It's a fire song, y'all. Trust me, it's fire. Number 2, Lord Forgive Me. Put that on your playlist. I'm telling y'all. You feel me? And number 3, Believe. Make sure y'all put those 3 songs on your playlist. Again, by me, Ashley Lovechild. Just tap it into any music platform that you listen to. Put those 3 songs on your playlist. Again, MJ Fadeaway, Lord Forgive Me, and Believe. Make sure y'all put those 3 on your playlist by me. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Send them to turkey or nah. Send them to turkey or nah. Y'all know the rules of the game. We type in T to send them to turkey. We type in N not to send them to turkey. So let me know what y'all think in the chat. For people that say and do bizarre things, we like to send them to turkey or not. So that's, the gist of how this goes. And again, I'm cross-platforming on both, which is Instagram and YouTube. And shout out to y'all that's on either one. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to Ebony. She said, I'm on it. I bet. Oh, you talking about the movies? Yes. Yes. Make sure y'all tap into those movies. And when y'all watch these movies, come back and let me know what y'all think about the movies. We could talk about them, have a good conversation about these movies or what y'all felt and what y'all thought, the energy of the movie and all that. So let me know. All right, y'all. First, send them turkey or nah. First, send them turkey or nah. Michigan Wolverines, the Michigan University of Michigan, have hired new head coach Kyle Whittingham, a former head coach of Utah for 21 years. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending Michigan to Turkey for hiring a new coach or hiring Kyle Whittingham, or are we not sending them to Turkey? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Both platforms showing major love. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. For me personally, I'm not going to send this to Turkey. As a Michigan fan, look, I need to have some Michigan stuff in the back, but as a Michigan fan, born and raised, love Michigan, the University of Michigan, I love this hire. I love this hire. Kyle Whittingham has been an absolute winner at the University of Utah for the last 21 years. And he's actually been there longer than that because I believe he was the DC for a long period of time as well. But he's done a great job. And not only that, you know what you're getting out a Kyle Whittingham team. They're going to be physical. They're going to be very creative on offense. And I mean, playing, and mind you, Utah have navigated against several conferences, being in the Mountain West, being in the Pac-12, being in the Big 12. Utah have always showed up and showed out, especially when they elevate. So the fact that we're getting this type of coach in the Big 10, in the best conference, in my opinion, in college football. And for all those casuals that be like, no, the SEC is. No, they're not. They're not. They're like, but yeah, y'all top heavy, but the rest of y'all teams is not good. No, the SEC will get that business, especially their middle tier teams. Have y'all seen LSU? Middle tier team. Middle tier team. They just lost to Houston. In the story. In the story. So I love this hire for Michigan. And then with Kyle Whittingham, again, not only he's a tough guy, he's always been able to recruit substantially well at Utah. At Utah. Ain't nobody trying to go to Utah to play no football unless it's for Kyle Whittingham. Now he's at Michigan where, let's keep it real. Michigan, our recruiting base is vast. We got a whole bunch of resources and we can make your dreams come true. Right? So I love this. I think this is a marriage made in heaven. The only thing I don't like about this is the fact that Sharon Moore was basically sacrificed. Like, let's keep it real. Well, all the things that happened with Coach Harbaugh, Sharon Moore was on that staff. Sharon Moore coached several games in Coach Harbaugh's absence, and we were still powerful, excellent, and dominant. With that being said, I really believe that Sharon Moore got a raw deal because I have to be honest. If we would have beaten Ohio State this year, I don't think his scandal would have came out. I don't think any of the things that unfolded after his firing would have spiraled out to what it was. I believe that they wanted a new energy in the building. Whether it's Jim Harbaugh or his old crew, it's like, yeah, we're going to get these people out the building. And I think that was, basically a domino effect in Sharon Moore of getting him out of the building. Outside of that, I love this hire because, again, bringing that toughness. Kyle Whittingham understands rivalry. So, Ohio, y'all in trouble. And Ohio beat us for the first time in like 5 years. And they acting like they on a roll again. Like I do this every year. You feel what I'm saying? Like people talking, they saying, yeah, Michigan is back on track. Like we didn't just win a national championship 2 years ago. They acting like we didn't win one in 20 years. And then people are acting like we had a bad season. We went 9-3, and that lets you know the excellence of Michigan with a 9-3 season is bad, which is crazy. So again, I love this hire. Again, for our quarterback. Again, our offense is going to be very creative. We will run that ball, but we will find ways to pass the ball as well. We're going to bring in better receivers in the draft class. We're going to develop some of the good receivers that we do have. And that offensive line is going to be big and it's going to be nasty. That defense is going to be every big of nasty and good. So I love this hire as well, me personally. So I'm not going to send this to Turkey. In the chat, they not sending it to Turkey. They said, good hire, Ashley. So, again, I'm cross-platform on both on Instagram and YouTube for this episode 224. And again, y'all, don't forget that them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Send them to turkey or nah. Send them to turkey or nah. Again, let me know what y'all think in the chat. Type in T to send them to turkey. Type in N not to send them to turkey in the chat. All right, y'all. New York City will mandate that addictive social media platforms display a mental health warning. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we going to send New York City to Turkey, my city to Turkey, for mandating that addictive social media platforms display a mental health warning? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, when I look at this, on one end, I love this, but on the other end is like, how are they going to determine what's addictive and what's not? So when I hear this, it kind of scares me a little bit because they would have to collect more data. And based on the collection of data that they're collecting on your personal watch, which is your personal business, which is your personal right, it becomes a bit invasive. So when they say social media platforms, that's still something that's a personal thing, that's personal based when you go on social media platforms, the things that you're looking for. So on one end, I kind of like it, but in order to achieve this, they're going to have to collect data. And that's something that I'm not for, because to me, that's personal. Whatever you watch on your social media platform, that's personal. Whether you like to watch workout videos, watch music, watch people crash out, social commentary, all types of stuff, that is your personal right to see whatever that it is without other people collecting data on your behalf and basically submitting things to you based on what you watch. Now, we kind of got that on TikTok already, but it doesn't feel, I wouldn't say feel, but their algorithm is based on necessarily what you watch. They're not saying that it should be a limit to what you're watching. They can't tell you what's addictive and what's not addictive. So that's the part that's kind of like strange when they say they're gonna issue a warning to the addictive platforms. To, they're gonna issue addictive social media. They're gonna mandate that addictive social media platforms is displayed for mental health warnings. I mean, being on social media is a personal decision. Being on social media, it has to be some sort of accountability being on social media. Like, when do we let other people regulate what's accountable for us? Why can't we be accountable for ourselves? So collecting data on our behalf is trash. So I'm going to send this to Turkey. In the chat, y'all sending it to Turkey. I'm in agreement with y'all. Again, I'm cross-platforming on both platforms. My YouTube, shout out to my YouTube, Show Major Love, and my Instagram. Shout out to my dog, Charles, in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. My bro in the building. One of my day ones, all the way straight from high school. My dog, you already know the business. But again, I'm going to send this to Turkey with y'all in the chat. All right, y'all, moving on to my next segment. My time, you already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. Question: is college football broken? Is college football broken? And in these particular areas is the most raised concern because, again, I love college football. I'd rather watch college football than the NFL. But the college football that I grew up loving has slightly changed. And in some ways, I love the new college football. In some ways, I hate it. One of the things that I love about the new college football is this, is that the kids are able to get proper exposure. I love that. Now, these kids are getting exposure very early, way earlier than ever before. But that exposure does help them to get to the next level, whether it's school or get to that money on. Secondly, is that money on? I love the fact that these kids are now going to college and basically not just getting a college football experience, but a college football business experience, get into that money. You got NIL, and now you have the schools paying the players. So I love the fact that the players are able to basically make their money. And the third and final thing that I love about the new college football is that players are in control of their career. If they feel like they're not getting a fair shake at one school, guess what? They can up and leave. And the year that they leave, they don't lose a year of eligibility. Why is that a big deal? Because it's not too long ago when you transferred schools, you actually lose a year, or we used to lose a year of eligibility. So transferring had to be very strategic. Transferring was only really for guys who redshirted. Now, if you redshirted, then you can use your red shirt to transfer and still get all 4 years of your eligibility. But now you could redshirt now and don't lose a year of your eligibility. You could go to the JUCO route for a year or two and don't lose none of the years of your eligibility. So now you have a lot of players in college playing college football that's much older. Guys are 24, 26. There's some guys that's like 27, 28, still playing college football. So on that aspect, on the fact that they're able to make their money, I love it. The other aspect that's kind of like that needs to be fixed in some people's eyes is the college football playoffs. Some people really have issue with certain teams. Like this year, for example, teams like Tulane and teams like James Madison are playing against top tier teams, SEC teams, Big Ten teams. Me personally, I don't mind. I don't mind. And some people say, well, how is that as if you're a real college football fan? They're not getting a real game. That's absolute dog shit. You have a 12, it's one thing to have a 14, a 14 team playoff. And for a James Madison to get in if they wasn't dominant. It's another thing to have an 8-team playoff and you put in a James Madison or a Tulane. Bro, you got a 12-team playoff. You mean to tell me that one of the group of 5 teams, if they are dominant, that they don't deserve a shot to be a Cinderella story? No. You're not going to get me on that train. If they are a group of 5 team and they was dominant, they earned the right to see where they could line up against the Big Ten schools, the SEC schools, the Big 12 schools, the ACC schools. They have earned the right to do so. So if you got an issue and you're a 3-loss Big Ten team, a 3-loss SEC team, then don't lose your games. Play better. Win the games you're supposed to win. Because it's a loser's mentality to lose and still expect to get a spot. Because it's not guaranteed, bro. We just seen LSU play Houston. And most people would say, just looking at the sheet of paper, oh yeah, LSU is going to blow Houston out the water. Houston beat LSU. They beat them soundly. And you would think LSU would have won that game on a physical aspect. No, Houston was way more physical than LSU. Both up front on their line and D line. Way more physical. So we can't relegate and say that these teams haven't deserved the shot because they don't play a Big Ten schedule or SEC schedule or Big 12 schedule or ACC schedule. If you dominate your group of 5, you've earned the right to play in the playoffs. So that's where you're going to keep me there. I'm not in agreement that college football players need to be revamped up and down. I don't believe that. If they're a group of 5 team and they went undefeated, then they've earned the right to play. Shout out to Vic in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Again, I'm cross-platforming on both Instagram and YouTube. Y'all already know the business. Appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Y'all know I talk about everything here. What, sports, entertainment, social commentary. We talk about everything. If this is your first time tuning and tapping in, Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? You know, your boy Ashley Lovechild. Shout out to Biggs in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. But again, college football, the only thing that really needs to be revamped, because I'm on record saying college football playoffs don't. If you're a group of 5 team and you went undefeated, you was dominant, you was kicking hella butt, then you deserve the right to play in the playoffs. You don't deserve the right to get those top 4 seeds, but an 11 seed or a 12 seed, cool enough for me. Tulane played Ole Miss, you know, they played them pretty good, but would the playoff would have been more beneficial if there was another 2-loss team playing in that spot? I would agree so. I would agree so, but I believe that the group of 5 deserve at least one team to represent if they were dominant. So that's where you're going to get me on that train. Now, one part of the aspect of college football is that drives me crazy is the transfer portal. I love the transfer portal for the fact that guys get to take advantage of their career. When I was playing football in college, coaches held the key basically to your career. If you was an outs with a coach, once you transferred, you lost a year eligibility. So you had to keep it cool with a coach. And now, if a coach don't play you right, you can tell them to kiss your butt. You go to another school, you can make some money on, and you can help your family. Players making $350,000, $450,000. Some guys $825,000. A few guys was making a cool $2-3 million. So I love that. The only thing that's crazy about the portal is that everybody jumps in it. Everybody. And some guys do themselves a big disservice by jumping in because the season that they had was based on the program and based on the system that was run at that school. So for some guys, if the big dog on your team, as far as the stats, if he transfers, how do you think on God's green earth it's beneficial for you to transfer? The guy that was ahead of you is leaving. So why are you transferring now? You're not going to garner the same type of money that he is. He done had a season where he could cash out, where he could say, yo, I did this over here, pay me $2 million, and I'll come to your school. If you were sitting behind him and the coaches want you to stay, why would you leave? You're doing yourself a disservice. So at the end of the day, the transfer portal has to be more strategic for players who are really looking and trying to get to that bag, because in order to get to that bag, you have to play. Bro, you got 2, 3, if you're like a defensive lineman and you got 3 or 4 of the defensive lineman guys leaving and you was right up to bat, or you was like a starter already, like, why are you leaving, bro? Like, take advantage of you getting first crack and first reps. So it's kind of weird to me that players don't use a bit more logic when it comes to the transfer portal. So, you know, that's another aspect of the transfer portal that needs to be better suited. They need to have basically a one day where these guys can transfer and admit to transfer and have a real grace period where teams can actually contact them. Because honestly, I believe a lot of guys jump in the portal because they getting poached. They're getting inside information from whether their agent, from other schools directly, that, yo, if you came over here, yo, we'll make sure you paid and you will play. So, you know, you can't do that while a player's on another team. There has to be a period where guys are able to transfer and do the actual, you know, contact with the teams properly. So that's what I believe that can help the transfer portal situation. As far as the NIL deals, hey man, get as much money as you can. Get as much money as you can. Guess what? These schools have been getting this money for the last 80 to 100 years, where they're getting all this money on the backs of athletes. So If a player wants $2 million, $3 million, $5 million, and he can get it, you won't get no argument out of me. Trust and believe. But they have to be very strategic in who and where they get this money from. All these players that jump in it, y'all not going to get to no bag. All you're doing is taking yourself out of a situation. So that's another area of college football that needs to be, I would say, modified in that regard. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. This is a statement. This is a statement that I have to make. In order to elevate, you must get rid of certain people, individuals in your life that doesn't benefit you in your life. Me personally, the older I get, the easier it is to spot, but the harder it is to actually do, because I got genuine love for people that I really be having around me, that I've had around me. But in order for you to elevate, you have to see the people who really don't mean you no good in your life. Even some of the people that mean you good in their life, they have to make themselves valuable in your life. And it doesn't have to necessarily be transactional as far as a thing or item, but it could be as little as energy. Energy is everything. I have certain people in my life that every time I see them, and I don't see them for years at a time, but anytime I'm around them, they give a certain energy that's infectious. They give a certain energy that lets me know that, yo, I rock with you. And for me, that's not transactional. That's straight up genuine. So you have to be able to get rid of certain people to elevate your lifestyle, to elevate your consciousness, to elevate your thought and mind process. Like for me, 2025 was very telling and very clarifying in the people that was even in my circle, immediate circle, and a little bit outside of my circle, letting me know who's really down and who's really for you and who's really down for me. And I have to take accountability based on seeing it and not acting on it on myself. When I seen what's not going to be right, it's just not going to be right. And basically fighting against my better judgment. Eventually I had to do what I had to do to elevate who I am as a person. So don't be afraid to do that, because in order to elevate, you have to rid yourself of these negative people in your life. They have it on them. It's a stench. It's a foul odor when people have negative energy. You have to get rid of them. So it doesn't have to be transactional. Energy base matters. Your energy matters. 2026, protect your energy. Not only protect your energy, elevate your energy. So be very wary of the people that you have around you. Because again, the older we get, the easier it is to spot. But it's very hard to execute, because the older you get, the more time you have history with somebody. It just makes it harder and harder. You have to cut weight. So that's my statement on that. All right, y'all, moving on to my next hot topic. NFL edition, teams that need a coaching change. NFL edition, teams that need a coaching change. So I got 4 teams that need coaching changes for next year. There's 1 or 2 games left. I believe there's 1 game left generally for everybody in the NFL. But you got teams that need some coaching change, B. So coming in at number 4, I have the Tampa Bay Bucks. I know. I'm a big fan of Todd Bowles. Love him as a coach. Love what he stands for. Hard-nosed, just a real... He's actually a good coach. But the Buccaneers is a huge miss for the playoffs this year. Mind y'all, they started off hot. Like, they started off looking like the best team or one of the best teams in the NFL at the beginning of the year. And slowly but surely, they tapered off. Even Baker Mayfield was looking like an MVP candidate for those first 6 or 7 weeks of the season. And the way they tapered off, and more than likely, they won't make the playoffs. I just think that they need a new voice in the locker room. I don't think they're certain players away from actually making a Super Bowl change. If that was the case, then I would say, all right, you keep Todd Bowles, you get what you need, and y'all can make a playoff run. Y'all can make a Super Bowl run. But they not put a position away from doing that. So when that happens, in my opinion, when you have everything that you need to succeed and you underachieve, it's time for a coaching change. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay do that. And it needs to have some new energy. And again, that underachievement based on how they looked earlier this season is just a big disappointment moving forward in the season. And again, y'all don't forget that them likes hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. My next team that needs a coaching change, NFL edition, the number 13 is the New York Giants. I mean, they fired their coach in the middle of the season, and rightfully so. But then again, they had a lot of injuries, and he put that team together. Um, Anytime they fire a coach immediately in the season, management is tired of that coach. Management is like, yeah, bruh, you had half a season to get this right. You've been here for, 2, 3 seasons prior to. Yeah, it's time for you to break out. The players is not gravitating to you as much as they might like you on a personal level, but on this football field, they just not gravitating to what you need to do. Mind you, they had a lot of injuries. I said it earlier this season. The Giants is the biggest disappointment of all the teams that I predicted on. I thought the Giants was going to be heavily improved, but they did have a lot of injuries. I thought the Giants would actually make some sort of playoff run, whether they just missed the playoffs or got that last spot. But I thought the Giants was definitely much improved. But injuries, they was very injury ridden throughout the season. But they need to find themselves a head coach. They need to find a voice that's going to resonate with their young quarterback, young running back, and young receiver. They have their own trio that can work. Um, but the new coach that comes in, he has to believe in their young quarterback. Now, Jackson Dart had a good game today. He had a good game today against the Raiders. He played very well. Is that enough to quiet the fact that the Giants may still get a top 5 pick, that they may, basically entertain the fact of drafting a quarterback, drafting Mendoza, drafting the kid from Oregon? Um, if I'm the New York Giants, I'm going to give Jackson Dart another chance. I mean, I said this before. I wasn't high on Jackson Dart at all. At all. Based on what I seen at Ole Miss. Like, you're at Ole Miss. You're in the SEC. You're playing with top-tier talent. So when you go out there and dominate, we're not really getting a fair evaluation because Ole Miss all around is a good team. So, I mean, how many Alabama quarterbacks we didn't see come into the league, and because they were so good in college, because they have the great athletes around them, they sucked ass in the NFL. So that's how I view Jackson Dart. But Jackson Dart has really shown me something. He could really throw that thing. He's a good runner. I can't stand his decision making though. He still needs to be better at making decisions, and also he needs to change his playing style a little bit, because if he plays as reckless as he did this year, he's not even going to last his rookie contract. He's physically not going to be able to play. So if I'm the new coach, I'm really jumping in 10 toes down and developing my quarterback, developing my young running back, developing my superstar receiver and neighbors. So that's what I'm doing as the new Giants coach if I'm the Giants. So the Giants is third on my list. Second on my list is the Cleveland Browns. I will say this, watching the game today, the Browns beating the Steelers, they haven't they've quit in certain games recently, but today they found pride in beating the Steelers, and I think a part of it is because the Steelers don't play well in Cleveland. When they play in Cleveland, they don't play well, and today was you know same old, same old. They didn't play well at all. So I think, but I still think the Cleveland Browns need a new voice in that locker room. I just don't believe that Coach Stefanski really believes in Shador. Now, is he doing his job as far as being in film room, getting him as acclimated as he can? Yes, because quite frankly, you got no other choice. You're not going to throw, uh, you know, You're not gonna throw Dylan Gabriel back out there. You're not looking for 5 yard bombs. You're not looking for 3 yard lobs. Like at the end of the day, Shador gives you the best opportunity and chance to win. So you have to do a better job in developing him. And I think since Shador has started, I think he's elevated his game. But I think they need a new coach. They're going to need a system that highlights what Shador does well. Now, mind you, this year has been a learning tool for Shador. But again, I think the Browns need a new voice in their locker room for sure. Uh, and the first team on my list, number one team that needs a new coaching situation is the Las Vegas Raiders. Pete Carroll, he was that dude at USC. If you know, you know. USC with Pete Carroll was unreal. Seahawks with Pete Carroll looked amazing. They was a good team, viable team, solid team. But on the Raiders, it's just not working, bro. It's just not working. They had a terrible draft. They looked terrible this season. And it doesn't show any other signs of getting better. Because if they're leaning on veterans who can't get it done, you're only going to lose more games. So because of that, and then mind you, Pete Carroll is a veteran coach. So he should have known to make proper adjustments, not just in the game's sake, but also in the season. So I honestly believe that the Raiders need a new voice in the locker room. Some people say, well, he's only been there for a year. So what? So what? Antonio Pierce was only there for a year. How many other coaches was only on the job for a year and they lost their job? This doesn't look good. You mean to tell me that the Raiders are another draft away from making a playoff push? I think not. Ashton Genty, solid season, but they could have had a way better use of that draft. Looking at some of the running backs that came out of that draft, the other positions that could have been bolstered. So again, the Raiders need a new voice in that locker room. And then on top of it, you got Max Crosby. He's supposed to be on IR. He at home making home videos in his home court shooting 3-point shots. So again, I honestly believe he already lost his voice in the locker room. So my four teams that need that NFL change for head coaches. Again, number 4 was the Bucks, number 3 was the Giants, number 2 was the Browns, number 1 was the Raiders. And again, y'all don't forget that them likes hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. I'm cross-platforming on both platforms, both this YouTube and Instagram. Appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Streamer Kai Cenat posted a tweet aiming at ex-girlfriend, saying, I'm single. I will never be in another relationship again. Woo. Man, this is what I have to say regarding that because, again, he put this out there. All this is really learning how to navigate manhood. That's all this is. Kai Cenat is very successful, very young, and he has his whole life to live, his whole life ahead of him. I believe Casanat is only, what, 24, 25 years old? Little bro, you got your whole life ahead of you. Trust me, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to meet other women, and some of those women may qualify to be somebody you would want to take serious. Because I know for a fact all men want their lineage. All men want to find a woman that they can have children with. So all this is to me is just navigating manhood. It happens to all of us. We all get our heart broken. We all, as men, have been in serious relationships that we thought would go the distance. We thought she was the one. We never could see a day where she would disrespect or do anything out of order for us in order for us to make us look at them differently. Now, there is speculation that his ex-girlfriend had dealings with other people. She came out and say that's not true. There's a narrative that's being thrown out about her that's not accurate. And for me, that's neither here or there, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, if it's true or not true, the end of the day, it's all about the results. The results is that y'all no longer going to be together. And the fact on that is that you just have to learn how to get over this. And it's not easy. And it happens day by day, because when it's fresh, you think about that person every minute, then every hour, every day. And, sometimes people don't leave your energy and your spirit until like years later. So this is nothing but learning how to navigate manhood, learning how to navigate your emotions, and not letting your emotions get the better of you, not letting your emotions make that late night text or late night phone call and like, hey, is this really over? Are we going to try to work this out? You don't throw up. You don't swallow what you threw up. And being young, being successful, it has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. And sometimes when you're super successful, you don't know who's around you for real for all the right reasons. And this is a part of his journey that he's going to figure out. He has to figure out, because it's his life. And in order for him to move forward and have the possibility of having children, there's going to be plenty of women out there that's going to blow your mind as far as their energy, how they talk, and how they speak. It's going to be something. It ain't going to be a lot. I ain't going to hold you. It's going to be something. It ain't going to be a lot. But based on these things and based on your relationship, you know how to recognize behavior that you can either correct immediately in the person that you're looking to be with, or you like, I'm good. And it makes it easier to find someone else that you want to build with. So, that's what I would have to say to Kai Sanat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Vic in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. It's over. Maybe it's me. Merry Christmas, Ash. You already know my guy Vic in the building. One of our big badge holders. One of our day ones in the building. Y'all know we cross-platforming on both Instagram and YouTube. So shout out to y'all. And again, appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in, showing major love. You already know the business. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Fat Joe and Young Buck. Rappers Fat Joe and Young Buck has basically reunited their beef with diss records, on each other. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Do we need diss records from, I would say, do we need diss records from veteran artists? Artists who are successful. I mean, Young Buck was successful in his own right. Fat Joe, super successful in his own right as artists. Made money, sold some sort of units. Do we need diss records on each other, like in the game? Like, me personally, at some point, because honestly, I don't think we get too old for hip hop. Hip hop is like any other genre. We seen rockers be rocking out until they like 80, 90 years old. But with veteran artists, do we need disc records instead of just fire records? Like that's like my thought process on this altogether. Because like, what point will they prove at this point in time? This is not 20 years ago where the disc record, it matters and it changes the course of each other's trajectory and who's better lyrically and this, that, and the third. We already know who's the better artist. We already know who accomplished more. So would a disc record, do it make the most sense at this particular point in time in either of their careers? Like seriously. Because at this age of the game, you would think that the focus would be on making hit records. Fat Joe, I would say, was it COVID years? Like, Fat Joe was killing it. He was killing it. And I honestly believe if Fat Joe get into the studio and focus on an album, that Fat Joe always find hits in songs, hits in music. So do we really need disc records from our veteran rappers, veteran artists? Do we need that? I don't think so. I see the chat in here. Greetings from Russia. We got Russia in the building. Shout out to, who was that? To WIA in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. We got Russia in the building. Respect to you, brother. Appreciate that. Hit them likes, hit them 100s, man. It helps with the growth of the show. Appreciate that. But yeah, do we need disc records from our veteran artists? And these are not like, these are our older artists who are very accomplished. Do we need that? Can a brother get a rap? The Notorious in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in, my guy. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Again, I'm cross-platforming on both Instagram and my YouTube. Again, if you're first time tapping in, it's the Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast, and I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. So yeah, me personally, I don't think we need disc records from our veteran artists such as Fat Joe, such as Young Buck. You guys are already successful. Just make fire music, yo. Just make fire music. Let the super young boys who's really trying to make a name for themselves, let them do all the disc records. Let them do the disc records. Let the artist who still is trying to figure out the hierarchy in the battlefields of rap, where their place is. Because Fat Joe, you already have your place. You are a legendary artist. Young Buck, he already has his place. So at the end of the day, it won't change anything. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. New Instagram, the new Instagram for TV is coming. New Instagram for TV is coming. Basically, you can watch real videos on the big screen. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. The new Instagram for TV is coming, and you can watch reels on your TV on the big screen. I know you could do that with TikTok already. I'm not sure if you could do that with Instagram for real, but they saying that will be a feature that people could watch reels on their big screen. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Notorious. Appreciate that in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. Me personally, to me, is like, what's the bigger picture? When they saying that they gonna allow Instagram Reels to actually become on the TV, it's like, what's the big picture regarding that? Is it just the viewership? Is it just you don't want people to leave the content? Because obviously TikTok goes crazy because of those Reels. TikTok go crazy because those videos, you doom scroll and you on there for a good 45 minutes, right? Instagram has to compete with that. Instagram has lost its luster based on the lifestyle of Instagram. Instagram used to sell a lifestyle. That lifestyle is kind of sort of changing a little bit, because even though Instagram holds high value, it still doesn't hold high value as far as viewership. So the fact that they're creating this to make sure that their viewership stays engaged, I think that's the bigger picture overall and altogether on why that they're creating Instagram Reels and making it able to be on the big screen. You will be able to sit back in your house and watching it as a channel. So I think that is one of the big pictures of this, and getting people addicted to the content. Uh, I am looking good, G. Shout out to my dog Vic in the building. You already know. Hit them likes, hit the 100. Shout out to the Instagram as well, man. Shout out to Abdul. What's good? Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. You already know. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Helps with the growth of the show. Keep it up, brother. 100%. Appreciate that, my guy. See, there's not. People can stand out by being positive. So shout out to Abdul, man. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Ash always looking sharp. Man, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm stupid. But I appreciate that. But yeah, so that to me is the bigger picture for Instagram doing that. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. I don't know if y'all seen the video, but it went super viral. Fake UPS drivers viral video unalive whole family except for the children caught on tape, caught on video. Basically, they had a whole lot of house cams, and it shows basically the fake UPS drivers approaching a man outside with a fake package, taking him to his door, unaliving him at the door, and then running amok in the house, children in the house screaming. They take the mom in the room. They unalive her and unalive the other man that was in the home. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. The best thing about this story is that these men was caught. They was already caught, and a few of them are singing. It was 3 men, and 2 or 3 of them is singing already. And they're saying that somebody in the house gave them the information to basically pull the job. My thing is this. I'm not a fan of robbery. I just think that's a sucker's way to get money when you rob somebody. What happened to working hard and keeping your head down and getting the things that you earn? If you're going to rob somebody, okay, get what you get and go. Why do you have to unalive them at the end of the process? You got what you came here for. So I never understood people who took somebody's life after they robbed them. Now, some people say, well, they could have saw your face. Why are they seeing your face? Why are you not wearing the mask? Why are they not turned around? It's even smart ways to do crime, but why are you even doing it? And why are you unaliving people after you done took their valuables? You came for the valuables. You got the valuables. Now you're going to unalive them. And in this situation, in front of their kids. In front of their kids. The best thing about this story is that they caught these men. And I hope that they get everything negative that they got coming to them. Everything negative. I know people out here trying to eat. I know people out here trying to get it. I just never been a proponent of people doing that to other people, especially people who are broke. When you, like 9 times out of 10, most broke people rob other broke people. You don't rob. Most people don't even have access to really rob people with some really money that if you rob them, they don't even care. It's like, all right, you robbed me, you got the money, get out. I'm going to get the money back anyway. So take this little money and go about your day, go pay your bills, whatever. You're not even robbing people like that. And I'm not a proponent for robbery at all. But you're robbing poor people. On top of that, just because somebody got a little hustle, that don't mean they got money. That's the craziest thing about this whole situation. Shout out to the chat, Ash. At least the kids weren't harmed. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. The kids wasn't harmed, but they wasn't harmed physically, but they've gone through something traumatic that they would never get over. They will never mental. Sometimes mental trauma is more poignant than physical trauma. I mean, they still alive to be here, of course, absolutely. That's no debate on that. But that mental trauma is going to be with them forever, forever. How do you get over something like that? And one of those kids is of age to remember. At the very best, one of those kids is young, and hopefully they won't remember none of this. So I'm just not jacking it. I'm just not jacking it, man. It's very unfortunate that this happened. But again, when you rob somebody and you got to unalive them on top of that, man, I really hope they get every bit of that energy that they got coming to them. Shout out to Rowan 12 in the building. My dude, Rowan 12. Yo, you already know. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers, y'all. We're a little over 12,000. So again, hit them likes, hit them shares, hit that all notification bell. I do pop up throughout the week. So make sure y'all tune and tap in. We got membership portions in the page. Different memberships is granted different access. So make sure y'all tune in to the membership portion. Take advantage of it. We got some great dealings with the memberships. RIP Judge Frank Capero. Shout out to EF in the building. What do you think of Australia? Never been to Australia. I've seen videos on some of y'all wildlife. Y'all wildlife is crazy. Y'all have some of the biggest bugs I've ever seen in my life from what I've seen on video. I got a couple friends that moved to Australia for about like 10 years, and they love it out there, having a whole good time. You know what I'm saying? Having a whole good. That's all I know about Australia. That's what I've been told and what I've seen on video. Again, shout out to both. Like I said, I'm cross-platform in Instagram and my YouTube. Shout out to Vic Down. Yeah, that's a fact, man. Like at the end of the day, again, we speaking about the fake UPS drivers who unalive that family. You know, try to rob them, try to get some money, and they unalive them on top of that. And I hope they get every bit of that jail sentence that they got. I hope they don't cut them no deals, and they rot in prison. They rot in prison. So, Ash, can we have a good time? Yo, Rowan, you stupid. You stupid. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. My college football picks is in. My NFL picks is in. My pick 6 is in. Shout out to Rowan. Hopefully they go in the same cell as they. Nah, they don't deserve to go in a cell with Diddy. They don't even deserve that cell. You know what I'm saying? They don't even deserve that cell. They need a different type of cell. They need that Shawshank Redemption cell. They need that type of cell. They need the worst cell that they could get. For real. Like, that's crazy. First game I called for college football, Washington State versus Utah State. I said Washington State will win. They won 34-24. Next game I called, Toledo versus Louisville. I said Louisville will win this game. They did, 27-22. Next game I called, Western Kentucky versus Southern Miss. I called these games. I called that game. So college. So I called that game already. So I got the NFL pick 6. Excuse me, NFL pick 6. Sorry about that. So the first game I called was the Lions versus the Vikings. I said the Lions will win that game. They lost 23-10. The Vikings. Like, I don't know what got into the Vikings today. Like, I don't know what got into the Lions. Might not make the playoffs, y'all. They might not make the playoffs. So they lost 23-10. Next game I called was Titans versus the Chargers. I said the Titans will win this game. They did, 20-6. Great game, by the way. I went with the Titans because the Chargers, they pretenders, yo. They like that girl that say that she really like you, say she going, go all the way, y'all get in the house, she'll give you a tug job and think that's like oh that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what the Chargers is to me. You know what I'm saying? They'll take you to the party and won't have a good time. So that's why I went with the Texans, and they playing outstanding, and they did. They won, I believe, the seventh game in a row. Next game I called Jaguars versus the Colts. I said the Jaguars will win this game. They did, 23-17. Jaguars is playing really good football, but to me they're pretenders as well. But I still went with them over the Colts. And I don't believe in Phillip Rivers at 44 being away for so long, hopping off the couch on the field. They're not going to win no games with Phillip Rivers. Next game I call Titans versus the Saints. I went with the Saints. They won this game 26. By the way, Titans look much improved. Their defense is solid. They still missing some pieces on that defense, but they have to double down on continuing to add more weapons for Ward, and Ward has to play better. Ward has the arm strength, but he has a gunslinger mentality. Athletically, he's inclined. He's functionally athletic. He's not uberly athletic, but he has physical traits throwing the ball that basically tries to cover up his deficiencies. So he really needs to focus on being accurate, throwing that ball on time, and they will be a better team. But they have to give him a couple more, real targets out there, in my opinion. But again, they still lost. Tyler Shuck looked good today, threw for over 300 yards, and they won 34-26. Next game I'll call Seahawks versus the Panthers. I said the Seahawks will win this game. They did, 27-10. Seahawks look playoff bound. They look playoff ready. Not playoff bound, but they look playoff ready. They are playoff bound. But Seahawks look like a complete team when Sam Darnold plays well. They're going to go as far as Sam Darnold takes them. And what that means is if he plays well, they're going to win. If he plays like boo-boo trash, they will lose. So that's my take on the Seahawks, and they got a really good team. Shout out to Vic. He started for Indy. Yeah, Phillip Rivers started for Indy. He started for Indy, man. And he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good. Go home. Go home. And all due respect, too, because some people call him a legend. All due respect. Go home. It's cool. Pack it up. It would be one thing if he was still active. Is the fact that he hasn't played since basically 2020, and he's been sitting on the couch. You look like Al Bundy straight from Polk High out there trying to throw these passes. You don't look good out there. You know what I'm saying? Next game I called was Eagles versus the Bills. I said the Bills will win. They lost 13-12 by 1 point. They made a fierce comeback in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't get that extra point. Next game I call. So that was my pick six. So that was my pick six for this week. I went 4-2. Again, if you're looking for a game for your parlays or money line or just looking for some action, I got some good picks. And so that's my pick six for the NFL this week. Also, another game I want to make mention was the Browns versus the Steelers. The Browns beat the Steelers today 13-6. It was actually a good game. The Browns played spoilers for the Steelers. If Steelers would have won today, they would have undoubtedly controlled their destiny into the playoffs moving forward. But because Baltimore won last night and Browns won today, they got a showdown next week. So that last playoff spot will be, I won't say that last playoff spot, but playing for the division will come down to that last game, Ravens versus the Steelers. Which is going to be a good game. But the Browns versus the Steelers, you had Aaron Rodgers. He went 21 for 39, threw for 168. Having his original targets, Metcalf, it did make a difference. Valdez, Scantling, He couldn't, get open and make the big play, and some of the other guys couldn't, shake loose and make big plays for Aaron Rodgers. Um, but Shador, man, like Shador had one hell of a first half. That first half of him playing, he looked really, really good. He finished the game with 17 for 23, 186 yards. He threw a touchdown, but he did throw 2 picks. Even by that standard, he still outplayed Aaron Rodgers. But here's my thing. This will be a complete conversation, a complete different conversation for Shador if he eliminates some of these picks. Now, again, I watched all of the games that he played. And some of these picks that he's thrown, obviously, it wasn't his fault. Obviously. Whether it was a bad route, a receiver letting the defender take his ball out of his hand, a running back or a receiver letting the hit their body and flowing in the air, one of the linemen not making the proper blocks and it's being deflected. He still has to make better decisions in critical down and distant plays. He still has ways to go. He's a rookie. He is a rookie, so he will continue to develop. But I just can't stop to believe, because Shador was never known for throwing interceptions. But it just make me believe that these 9 picks that he's thrown 7 touchdown passes, but these 9 picks that he's thrown, it's just going to say 9 picks. It's not going to have asterisks to these picks. It's not going to say, well, he really threw 5 and these 4 was some BS. This 4 happened because of this, that happened. It's not going to say that. It's just going to say 9 picks. So if he limit these picks, not only will he put the team in a better situation, his narrative will be completely different. Shador, to me, is in LeBron James mode, in the sense of LeBron James is easily the most critiqued NBA player we've ever had. Easily. I haven't seen this much critique to a player since LeBron James. Now, mind you, some people say, well, how are you going to compare LeBron James to Shador? Easily, because coming into the league, they garnered a whole lot of attention. Coming to the league, they already had success on their level, meaning that LeBron James has success on the high school level, meaning Shador has success on the college level, meaning that LeBron James was polarizing. Shador is polarizing as far as what he gains in viewership. And he's heavily critiqued. I don't see YouTube pages dedicated to what Tyler Shuck, to what Jackson Dart, to what Cam Ward needs to do on how they need to develop. There's several YouTube pages, Instagram pages, several TikTok pages on the critiquing of Shador game in, game out. So that's what I mean by being the most critiqued player. And this is coming from a fan of Shador, wanting to see him succeed. I've never seen so many grown men in my life wanting to see a young rookie fail right off the back. But nobody says nothing about Jackson Dart last week throwing, I believe he threw for like 33 yards in a complete game. Nobody said nothing. Got sacked 5 times. And nobody said, well, he hold the ball too long. He threw a pick. Oh, he don't got enough arm strength. He not running fast enough. So he's the most critiqued player that I've seen since LeBron James. Now, Shador, you have to continue to play better. Now, since he came in Baltimore, and since today's game, you see vast improvement in Shador's game. But these little knick-knack picks is not going to quiet these haters. And I would love nothing more for him but to quiet these haters. For him to go out there, throw 300 yards. Because he was on pace to throw 300 yards today. to go out there, throw 300 yards, 4 touchdown passes, no picks. Obviously, the team is not complete. Obviously, that O-line, Cam Robinson, he's stealing money. Cam Robinson is stealing money in the league. He's stealing money. And it's crazy because when he came into the league, he was viewed as a franchise caliber left tackle. He looked like dog shit. He looks terrible. And it's not helping him out in any way, form, or fashion. When I look at Cam Ward, that O-line needs some work, but they don't look terrible. When I look at the Giants O-line, they need work, but they don't look terrible. They don't look overmatched game in, game out. When Cleveland Browns, their O-line look overmatched game in, game out. But all in all, Shedeur still has to play better. So we need to cut down these picks. And I honestly believe if he threw 10 touchdown passes and had maybe 3 picks, he would be in line for being rookie offensive player of the year. I think he would easily be considered for that. They had him up for the Pro Bowl probably like a couple weeks back. So if he would have kept playing better and less than these picks, I think you could have easily said that he could have been a guy for the Pro Bowl, especially with the injuries that we had this year so far. No Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson. Herbert has looked decent. He hasn't knocked your socks off. Bo Nix not knocking your socks off, but he is, they're winning games. So there's no other players that knock your socks off. Joe Burrow, he was hurt. My dude, C.J. Stroud, he's played good, but nothing to knock his socks off. So again, I thought he was in line for that, but he has to play better. He has to cut down on these picks, because if he doesn't throw these picks, the narrative will be completely different. And I honestly believe it's in the Cleveland Browns' best position is to continue to develop him and build the team around him. But he hasn't closed the conversation. And this is coming from somebody that wants to see him do well. He has to close that conversation. So, but they got the win, which is most important. Shout out to the Browns. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment. My Keep the Lie Live for this episode is: age does not have a dress code. Again, age does not have a dress code, but events do. And what I mean by that is this: no matter how old you are, if you have the proper body to wear the proper clothing, then wear it. Wear it. It's cool. Age does not have a dress code. But if you go into an event, you want to be properly dressed. For ladies, you want to be properly sexy. And the event matters. I seen Ice Spice dressing with a see-through body type of thingamajig. You can see the thong, and she's at a kid's function with this outfit. Again, age doesn't have the dress code, but events do. So you mean to tell me that at your age, you don't know what to wear at a kid's event? Who's her team? And honestly, to keep it a buck with you, why would your team need to inform you about a kid's event on what to wear? Where they do that at? Like, at the end of the day, you should know how to dress. Like, that's bugged out to me. I seen another picture of Jennifer Lopez looking amazing, might I add, but damn near naked. Cool If that's for a certain event, cool. If that's for your man, but to just out there with it, out there with it. It at her super big age, it screams desperation. It screams desperation. It'll be one thing to dress sexy at an event, which is called for. Cool. Go there, take your pictures, look amazing. Got an amazing body, because she does have a nice body. But the event matters. That's why I say age doesn't have a dress code, but the event do. So it matters. Jennifer Lopez, Ice Spice. How the hell are y'all dressing super duper sexy? Or Ice Spice, for Ice Spice an example, well, Ice Spice in particular, how you dressing super duper sexy, see-through outfit, thong showing at a kid's event? What are we doing? Where's the self-accountability for, like, come on, like, put two and two together. Even if you're at the event, you would think somebody has the wherewithal to, again, get this young lady a big coat or something where she could cover up, so that way she's not sending the wrong message to kids. Because I guarantee you, if that was a young man out there at a kids event with the see-through outfit where you could see his drawers and all this, that, and the third, it would have been a whole problem. So that's why, again, I say age does not have a dress code, but events do. And that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Rowan12. Shout out to Rowan Jack for just tapping in. One of our day ones. One of our badge holders. Sorry, I'm late. Rowan12, I bet you look. Come on. I can't even finish that, Rowan. Shout out to Rowan Jack again. Welcome back, Rowan. Are we sending her to Turkey? We could send her to Turkey. We could send her any and everywhere, bro. Because, again, I don't have a problem with, because there's this thing in hip hop, there's this thing in our culture where it's like, if you're over a certain age, there's like a make-believe dress code. If you're 50 years old as a man, you have to dress as you're 50. And what does a 50-year-old dress like? Instead of dressing comfortably, right? So to me, age doesn't have a dress code. Age doesn't have a dress code. Even with women. If women want to dress sexy, cool. But there has to be a reason and space for why you're dressing sexy. What's the event you're going to? When you put pictures out there and you're over a certain age, like the thirst trap, like, you don't have to do the thirst trap. You already fine. You aging like fine wine. It's not needed. You can still come out there with a baggy clothes and still be sexy. I don't mean no disrespect when I say this lady name, but I've seen Sierra dressing appropriately overdressed, meaning like she's very baggy clothing, but it still is super sexy. And we know Sierra is sexy. So the less clothing is not needed. It's like, it's cool, but the event matters. Now, if she dresses super sexy at the appropriate event, cool. But if she's dressed in a thong and you can see the nips and all that, and she's posting it just to post it for a thirst trap, then she's out of line. You're a married woman. So even though age doesn't have a dress code, the event does. So again, and that's why that had to be mentioned, because I've even seen like certain other people talk about other people and how to dress and this, that, and the third. Like, yo, if you fly, you fly. If you got a nice body, you got a nice body. If you can pull it off, you can pull it off. Everybody fly is not the same. Everybody sexy is not the same. I work hard to dress like this. Cool. But be appropriately addressed at the right event, at the right time. You want to take sexy pictures? Send that shit to your man. Don't put that shit up on Instagram. Who are you trying to impress? If you got a dude at home and you're basically damn near naked with the legs wide open for the Instagram post, who are you impressing? So again, age doesn't have a dress code, but the event does. Simple and plain. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, y'all killing me in the chat. Y'all funny in the chat. Or dress formal, casual every day. Bro, turtlenecks are mandatory over 40. Not, Yo, I've been wearing turtlenecks ever since I was like 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of the drip. You know what I'm saying? Part of the drip. But to me, when you like when as you get older, when you as a man, when you really stepping out, you know what I'm saying? The top combination for men, it's kind of a cheat code. I'm gonna tell you how the cheat code, but turtleneck pea coat is a cheat code. It's a cheat code. I'm just saying. No, you know. And don't have some smoking cologne, because you got the smoking cologne. You got to beat them up off of you. You know what I'm saying? Again, your big brother's telling you this. Trust me. Uh, Punish her with a broker. Shout out to my dog, Rowan Jack, one of our big badge holders, one of our day ones, one of our big supporters of the show, man. Again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Again, I was dual cross-platforming on both the original YouTube that shows me major love and Instagram. So again, y'all, don't forget that them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. I'm on every Wednesday and every Sunday at 10:30, man. Y'all been amazing. Mind y'all, the New Year's Eve episode is the very next episode. We're gonna be doing. We're gonna make sure that we get to 26 new members for the next episode for the 2026 year. So that's gonna be very exciting and very big. So make sure y'all tune and tap in for the next episode. Well, it's a lot of members. We got a good amount of subscribers. You know, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We a little over 12. We a little over 12 right now. So again, y'all hit that like button, man. It costs you nothing. Hit that subscribe button. Costs you nothing. Tap into the membership portion in the page. Different memberships is granted different access. So make sure y'all tune into the memberships. Take advantage of the memberships. Again, we trying to get to 26 new members for 2026. I never really harp on the exact numbers because my thing is about speaking to y'all and having that conversation. That's what it's about for me. It's never necessarily been about the numbers. But 2026 is just only right? We in 2026 is only right to have 26 new members, right? So I think that's very important just as a goal and hitting that goal. As far as anything else, man, as far as the subscribers, again, man, we got the Kenner Brothers Get It Rap playlist. Got over 500, I believe over 600 rewatchable videos of the podcast on this channel right now. Got a whole lot of videos on that from the old format and obviously from the new format. Still a great time, still great subjects to tune and tap into. So, you know, for those who've been supporting, those who are newly supporting, thank you. Genuinely, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And the show continues to get better and better. We better from the old format, and we're going to continue to get better and better moving forward. My dog, shout out to my dog, Rowan Jack, man, for the gifted, man. Appreciate that. Ash do a 360. Already, you always teasing. Come on. Man, I'm mad I finished that statement that you put up. Because y'all know I almost damn near read anything. I'm like a newscaster. What's the Ron Burgundy? We say, yo, don't post anything because Ron gonna read it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Ron Burgundy. If y'all post it, I'm gonna read it. Sometimes I have to catch it in what y'all saying in mid sentence. You know what I'm saying? If y'all post it, I'm gonna read it. I used to be really bad at doing that. Anything people post, I used to read it. My dog Rowan Jack finishing that Grey Goose. Yeah, y'all already know, man. It's that alkaline water. I drink nothing but that alkaline. You know what I'm saying? Or was that Ciroc? Shit. I'm always staring. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, man, Rowan is stupid. But I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all are super amazing. Y'all been with me. Some of y'all been with me from day one. That means a lot, man. That means a lot, for real. For real. The show continues to grow. And then the crazy thing is they don't really show how much people that really be in the chat for real, because soon as the pod will go off, it'll show me how many people that was actually in, how many people was watching, how long they, I mean, sometimes the numbers be mis it's misinformation. Uh Come on, man. Stupid. Stupid. But again, y'all, appreciate y'all for tapping in. My dog Biggs, man. Again, y'all, don't forget that them likes hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. It helps us within the algorithm and all that type of stuff. So, you know, make sure y'all do that for me. Also, y'all, Overstand Podcast will be back in 2026. Ask the GM Podcast, where I'm just basically talking about sports. Look out for that. We got some new music on the way. Y'all would have been had this music, to be honest with you, but again, I'm no longer going through it. Not Instagram. I'm no longer going through Apple Music and Spotify for the new music. We doing the OUV Records app, developing the OUV Records app. It's a better listening experience, a better visual experience, and y'all gonna get all the music for all OUV record artists, new and old. So make sure y'all tune into that OUV Records app when it come out. It's in development right now, so make sure y'all tap into that. Rowan Jack Ash, I'm glad I caught that. I'm glad I caught that. I'm glad. See, y'all know I'm Ron Burgundy. Y'all know this. I'm gonna read damn near anything that pop up. Y'all know this. I'm Ron Burgundy. I'm glad I caught that. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I caught that. But again, appreciate the gifted. But I'm glad I caught that. No, 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 nah. You know what I'm saying? And for those, if this is your first time tuning and tapping in, he's being funny. He's not being serious. He's joking, y'all. It's a joke. It's an ongoing joke. He's one of my day ones. It's an ongoing joke. It's cool. It's cool. Again, be on the lookout for that new music. Also developing a new comics and animation. And it's based on world domination. It's a fire comics and animation. And I can't wait for y'all to see that. It's my baby. I've been working on that thing as well. I'm also in development for a new movie that I'm putting together as well. So I got quite a few projects that will be out for 2026 as well. The new movie, can I say what it is? Can I say what it is? Not yet. I can't say the movie yet. But the movie is fire though. It's fire. Um, what else we got going on? Again, we got the special episode. Next episode for the December 31st, New Year's episode. Make sure y'all here. We're gonna bring in the New Year's together. I may have some special guests for that episode, but make sure y'all tune and tap in. It's gonna be a fire episode. I know it's gonna be a lot of people in here for that episode too. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be super fun. Shout out to my dude Patrick in the building, one of our day ones, one of our big badge holders in the building, one of our mods in the building. What's up, my dude? My Giants messed up by winning today. Nah, y'all didn't. Y'all didn't. Y'all. Somebody else is gonna win, and y'all gonna lose probably next week. So you know what I'm saying? Y'all good. The whole purpose is to win games. The play y'all meant to get, y'all gonna end up getting. So y'all good. Y'all good money. Y'all need a new coach. I spoke about it. The Giants need a new coach. That's what I said about the Giants earlier. And they need to develop Jackson Dart. I wasn't Jackson Dart biggest fan coming into the season. I'm still not, but I could see his potential and I could see his talent. And he is what the Giants need as far as the quarterback. I wasn't. Y'all remember me saying I didn't want Shador as a Giant, so I'm glad he wasn't drafted to the Giants. I believe that he's at where he was supposed to be. But you know what's interesting though? Shador was actually going to get drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson has been having you know, their thing. So it makes me wonder: did the Baltimore Ravens, did they want to draft Shador to replace Lamar Jackson? I know that sounds crazy to say because Lamar is a two-time MVP, but because of his playing style, and the older Lamar gets, it's going to be hard to continue on that trajectory. So maybe they thought they could bring in Shador, develop him, right? And then basically unload Lamar Jackson if he gets hurt, or, or if his playing style will actually catch up, which is looking like it is a little bit based on his injuries. And they have been exploring the possibility in moving Lamar Jackson. So, and then if you should do it, because hindsight is 2020, it's crazy that Baltimore's had their quarterback situation because of the injuries. He would have been playing, but he betted on going to Cleveland instead. So, which is also still wasn't a bad choice for him. But y'all get the point that I'm making. So that's interesting. So that's why I had brought that up. Shout out to who else I missed. Get Terry Crews, and it will be fired. I mentioned Terry Crews earlier, Rowan Jack. He was in this movie that I told people to go see called The Sixth Day, and he was in there. And I told people to go see that. Rowan, get Terry Crews in there. Uh, my dog Rowan 12, Rowan 12. Ash, is it the movies? Nah, bro, nah. I'm telling you, I'm Ron Burgundy, but I'm glad I'm catching some of these that you say, Rowan 12. I don't know these all jokes, but some people that's tuning in for the first time, they like, yo, what is he on? And he's joking, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Rowan. Hey Pat, I'm watching Book of David on Amazon. It's holy fire. Okay, I'll tap into that. I'll tap into that. All jokes, we love Ash. Yeah, for those if this your first time, like these are my day ones, man. These are my dudes, man. These are people that really support the pod, man. So these are all jokes. Uh, he coming, come on, Pat. Like I almost read that, Pat. Yo, I almost read that. See, my peoples, they know I'm Ron Burgundy, and they know I will read damn near anything because it's just be happening like that. They always said in the movie Anchorman, they said, yo, don't type in anything because Ron gonna read that. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all funny. Don't forget that the likes hit the 100, y'all. It helps with the growth in the show, man. Next episode, I'm also gonna have the My Pick Six, and I'm gonna have some college football predictions as well for next week. Well, for the next show, I'm also gonna have the best of. We're gonna do a lot of best ofs for 2026. The best movies we've seen this year, the best shows, and it's gonna be a lot of best ofs for 2025. I said 26, but so it's gonna be a lot of best ofs for 2025, and we're gonna have our first ever award show. So we're gonna be giving out awards for the best of. And it's going to be fun and it's going to be fire. So I may have a special guest or two to tune in and tap in for the next episode. That's going to be fire. That's going to be fire. So we're going to have some best ofs as well. What else? Yeah, so we definitely going to have some best ofs. I'm going to be doing some best of movies and, music and stuff like that. So I'm going to be giving out some Michaels, some Eddies, you know what I'm saying? Some Michaels, some Eddies, and yeah, I think I'm going to call it that, some Michaels and some Eddies. And for those who are confused, like for the people who had the best acting performance, I'm going to give out the Eddies because I feel like Eddie Murphy is the most important actor we've had in our generation, not the era, in the generation. So I believe Eddie Murphy is the standard. So instead of giving out Tonys and Oscars, which we not that, I'm gonna give out some Eddies. As far as the music, y'all know who Mike is. Y'all know who MJ and them is. You know what I'm saying? Mike. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give out some Michaels for the best music that we've had for 2025. So that's gonna be Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast thing, which is gonna be fire. Ash, I'm not gonna read that. Landman on Paramount is really good. Bro, Landman, if y'all never seen Landman, Landman is fire. I haven't seen season 2 yet on purpose because I want to binge watch it, but I'm gonna watch it before Wednesday's episode. But Landman is fire. The first season of Landman, fire, fire. Paramount makes good shows. Paramount do a good job of making shows. That's why I didn't understand why Camp Crystal Lake, they coming out with a series, you know, like how It came out with, well, they did the It series for Welcome to Derry. So they doing the Jason series, Camp Crystal Lake for Peacock. And I'm like, Peacock don't have a great reputation for making good shows. You know, Fresh Prince is like barely decent. That first season was good. Second season was, I'm cool. Third season was blah. And this season, I haven't seen the fourth season yet. I haven't even been enthused to see the fourth season yet, to be honest with you. But I will take a look. I'll take a look at that though. But Paramount makes good shows. They got Landman. They did Mayor of Kingstown. They got Tulsa. If y'all haven't seen Tulsa King got me in the chokehold. That's a fire show. That's a fire show. That's a fire show. Bronny is one best actors. Oh, you talking about LeBron? Yeah, Bron gonna be up for Eddie. We're gonna put Bron up for Eddie. Yo, I saw a trailer for the Miyagi movie that's coming. Prequel Karate Kid, Miyagi movie prequel. Karate Kid looks fire. I haven't seen that. I've never watched Cobra Kai. People had a lot of great things to say about Cobra Kai. I've never seen Cobra Kai. I would love to see Cobra Kai. But the Miyagi prequel, I'm interested to see that. I've said this on the show several times, and I may have to bring it back up in Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I said we need what I said we need. We need a Last Dragon series. I said we need a Last Dragon series, but I said it during the old format, so I didn't properly break that down. But we need a Last Dragon series. We definitely need that. That will have everybody in the chokehold, especially if they do it right, and especially if they do it with the right network. If they do it with Netflix to me doesn't make great shows like that. They very hit or miss. That's my personal opinion. Netflix is very hit or miss. But if they mess with HBO, they mess with Paramount, to some degree FX, that will be one hell of a show. One hell of a show. And honestly, I'm a fan of making my shows rated R. I want to see some sex in some of these shows. I want to see some sex in some of these shows, man. Because you mean to tell me in The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy got fine ass vanity, and we don't get like a nipple or something, like no nothing, like a thong shot, nothing as fine as vanity was. We make it rated R. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely need a Last Dragon series. The series was really good. It was fire. It's fire. Welcome to Derry is fire. Chef's Kiss, fire. The only thing that Welcome to Derry, it obviously was the black spot. If y'all know that. Y'all seen the episode of Black Spot. That sequence was tough to watch. Tough to watch. And my only other misnomer about Welcome to Derry, I know they had to kill off one of the characters, but how he died, without spoiling it for y'all, how he died didn't make sense. Meaning, like, he was trying to save other people, but he could have saved the other people without having to die. Like they made him die. Like it, like the angle looked weird, how he did it look weird. And for those who watch know what I'm talking about without spilling it. Like Welcome to Dairy people is just dying left and right. Like you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like Welcome to Dairy didn't have no type of plot armor. Did you ever watch Shogun on Hulu? Golden Show. I didn't watch that yet. I didn't watch that yet. I think I got caught up in the show called, what is the show called again? It was out a couple years ago, but they have four Strand. I got caught up in the show Strand. I've been watching the seasons of Strand. If y'all ever heard of Strand. X-rated Lord of the Rings. I'm saying I've never watched the Lord of the Rings, y'all. I know y'all probably kill me for that. I've never watched Lord of the Rings ever. Never watched Lord of the Rings. I just never been into watching Lord of the Rings. Same thing with Stranger Things. I never seen Stranger Things and be like, yeah, I want to watch that. It's like I'm cool. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. The Shogun messed up the way it ended horribly. Okay. I hate shows that end like that. Like Game of Thrones ended poo trash. Like it was a fire show through and through. But that last episode was like, nah, yo. The Monsters series on Netflix is good. Like the Mendoza, okay, like the Mendoza brothers, the Ed Gein story is good, but it's a little weird. I'm not gonna hold you. I was getting my hair braided, and my hair braider put on the Ed Gein story. And the first episode, all I saw was bruh hanging himself and beating off. And I looked at my hairdresser and was like, yo, my hair braider, and was like, yo. And she was like, sorry, and changed it. I just off that first episode, I was like, that first second, I was like, yo, we coming in too hot. We coming in too hot for the Ed Gein. You know what I'm saying? Ed Gein he came in too hot for me. And what's crazy, for those who don't know Ed Gein's story, he's the reason behind movies like not Tales from the Hood, for what's the movie? Silence of the Lambs. He's the reason behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's the reason behind those movies, for those who don't know. Is Ed Gein. Is it weird? It's weird, but it's good series. You have to watch it. It makes sense. Ash Trust is a good show. So you were probably about to say Chainsaw Massacre, yeah. But it probably is a good show. I ain't gonna hold you. I couldn't get past those first, but I end up watching like weird movies. Like if y'all never seen this movie called Caligula, I've told y'all this on previous episodes. The movie Caligula is a movie that came out in the late 70s. And all these actors are top tier actors. They're older actors now. But in this movie that is rated R, they was having real in the movie. And it made me look it up. I'm like, yo, is this really rated R? And it's yes. And the reason why it's rated R is because the sexual portion of the movie is not the intent is the movie and the story. The intent is not the sex. A porno movie, the intent of that is the sex. So that's what makes porn and not rated, right? And that movie is rated R. And in this movie, like like the chicks is giving knowledge. If y'all can read between the lines, they giving knowledge. They giving up the guts as well in the movie. And they showing like the penetration. So imagine being the boyfriend of your girl that act in the movie, and you watching the movie and she topping the dude off, and you like, yo, you not my girl no more, man. Like, what? Like, this is what you do at your job. And this came out in the late 70s. It's called Caligula. It's about Caligula Caesar. in his reign as like the, Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar. It was a guy called Caligula Caesar, and it was some crazy scenes in that movie. I almost turned the movie off. They just had some scenes in that movie towards the end that was like, whoa, bro. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. So if y'all watch that movie, y'all know what I'm talking about. Again, it's a movie called Caligula. The Mendoza brother. I think I seen the one with the Menendez. But I seen the Menendez brothers one. I believe it's I believe it's the FX. I didn't see what they did on Netflix. I seen the FX version, and FX makes good ones. They did the Monica Lewinsky, the O.J. Simpson. They did a few others. Obviously the Menendez brothers. They did a few others I can't think of right now, but those were good though. I seen the FX version of the Menendez brothers. Shout out to Sharice in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. I agree. Patrick in the building. Did you see the Diddy documentary yet that 50 Cent produced? I still haven't seen it, bro. I know I keep saying I'm going to watch it, but there's a reason why I don't want to watch it. There's a reason, and I said it before. It's like, I said I'm going to watch it, but I kind of don't want to watch it, man. It's like, it's just something about like these pieces against people of our culture that's like intent to destroy, even though it's by 50 Cent, But I understand 50 Cent level of petty because I'm a 6'9". I'm 6'9" all day. I'm a born 6'9". For people that don't understand what 6'9" mean, I'm a Cancer. So I understand his level of petty. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know. I'm just not in the mood to watch it. What's the movie? What's the movie Asking for a Friend? Oh, the movie is called Caligula. It's called Caligula. You could actually find it on YouTube, but they're not gonna play it on YouTube. You have to like have the subscription on YouTube to watch it. And that movie, they got scenes in the movie where they going in like, and I'm talking about actresses that today that was in that movie that was topping off, that was like getting penetrated, and they're showing this. Oh, like, yo, and I just heard about this movie literally like a couple months back. It's called Caligula. Movie is crazy. That movie is crazy. This movie called The Brown Bunny is crazy. Again, actors in that movie that when y'all see them, y'all know them by face. Probably not by name, but y'all know these actors by face. And there's a scene in that movie where it's towards the end and the guy is with his girl and he whips it out. Like, he really whips it out. And she really speaks on the mic. And they show it. And it's rated R. And this came out like early 2000s. This movie was wild. I'm like, yo. Like y'all read the script. Like, I know the dude gonna be up to it like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna back you out with the joint, like, you know what I'm saying? But for the lady, it's like, yo, you read the script, right? It's like, yeah, I'm cool. And she was cool. Now imagine being her man and then you at the premiere and it's like, so this is what you do? This is what you do. You no longer got a boyfriend after that. I'm just saying. Especially if you a husband. Bags packed. Packed as we talking. And she was in there going hammies on the mic. It's called The Brown Bunny. Movie is wild. Did you see? Okay, I seen that one. Shout out to CC in the building. Appreciate you for tuning and tapping in. Bro, I wish I lived in the 90s. That's the one era that's unmatched. Music, movies, fashion, everything. The only thing about living in the 90s, because I was a little kid in the 90s growing into being a teenager. Only thing about the 90s, it was very wild, wild west outside. It was very dangerous outside. There's a lot of people that didn't make it. There's a lot of people that didn't make it. Trust me. It was the wild, wild west. The fashion was popping, but you could rob. Not you personally, but just saying in general. People was getting robbed. People was getting robbed for their fits. If you had some nice, clean butters, you got robbed. For the Jordans that came out at the time, if you went to Fulton Street, you got robbed. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely dangerous, for sure. For sure. You know, you had the low lives. For people that don't know, the low lives, people that rock Polo and Ralph Lauren, they used to sit on them trucks and rob the trucks and go, you know, and go back to the neighborhood and sell that thing. You know what I'm saying? But the 90s was wild. I would say like in 1998, I was probably like 12, 13, 14, 13. I was 13, 1998. So I was going into high school. It was a very dangerous time. Very dangerous time. One thing also in the 90s, you had to know how to fight for sure. Because that's how we made friends in the 90s. Now, again, not you, but just in general. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's bad. That's the question. Damn, that's bad. Yeah, I mean, if you buying new clothes, you're not trying to get robbed, right? Especially if you know, to get certain clothing, you had to go to certain spots. So going to Fulton Street, even though people got robbed, people still took the risk because there was certain clothing at Fulton Street you only got at Fulton Street that was like next level fashion. So that's why people even took the chances. But when you went to Fulton Street and you was like a teenager for real, like if you was like 15 and older, it was a good decision that you went down to Fulton Street deep. You didn't go solo dolo, especially if you popping tags. Oh yeah, you gonna go deep out there. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go with the crew. You gonna go with the crew, cause if you got the crew with you, it's like, oh, all right, you know, it's the crew. So you know what I mean. But you know, some dudes were so wild they would rob the whole crew. Some dudes was wild like that. Some dudes, but they was older guys that would do that. That's why I don't jack the robbing culture. I just think it's like it's like a piss poor culture to me. People that do the robberies and B&Es and stuff like that is piss poor to me personally. Shout out to both again, cross platform and Instagram and also YouTube. Again, I can't wait for y'all to tune in this Wednesday for the New Year's episode. It's going to be fire. Make sure y'all tune and tap in. Hit the likes, hit the 100s on the way out. Again, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Again, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out for being and saying things negative. Have the opportunity and ability to stand out for being positive. Lose the Willie Lynch mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We only celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. I can't wait to see y'all this Wednesday. It's going to be super duper fire for episode 225. Again, bring that love, bring that energy, and we're going to have a good time. Again, I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? And I will see y'all this Wednesday. Y'all already know the business. It's love. And I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.